how serious who is about predicting the future. Also known as the one 100% independence, the one God, the one self-sufficiency. I want to see better. Alhamdulillah, hallelujah. Give proof through the night whose way of life is still where. All right, Mecca, is there any reason we should not leave this area now? Is it peacefully happy here? Is anyone else trying to get here? Did we leave anything we need to pick up? Do we have everybody? Did we thank our friends sufficiently for a real good time? Thanks for a real good time, we the people. Did we leave things better than we found them? The 10 Commands. When? Let's employ veterans and extend the Smithsonian Mall to California. Let's hire veterans to extend the Smithsonian Mall to California. Yeah, loves you guys. Sure, yeah, it's a free country.
Thank you. I love it.
Good, Mecca. That's good. Yeah. Our goal is to get 4 boys and 4 girls, and then they can have 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8 puppies together.
Is that a boy or a girl?
This is Mecca. We don't worry about boy or girl till we get to puppies. Thanks a lot. Afghan hound. Afghan hound, yeah.
He's playful there.
Yeah, let's breed them and donate them to Afghan and U.S. villages. They are good.
I got Yorkshire Terriers from Britain.
Great.
They used to catch the rats on the ships when they sent them over to America.
Ah.
They'd shake the rat and
Yeah.
its neck.
Yeah.
Because they kept getting in the fruit on the freight.
This one's legs are too long. It doesn't really catch the rats. It goes for the bigger.
Probably sit on it.
You too. I'll try to be ready. Everyone loves you, Mecca. You're such a good vibe. Yeah. All right. Good, Mecca. Good, Mecca. On the road again. Willie Nelson. Yeah. Wow. What fun for you, Mecca. How thoughtful was who left that cup there? Hey, who? That's good. Not feeling too good myself, huh? That's Stevie Winwood. Good, Mecca. Good, you're going to try to catch the elevator, but we missed it. Okay. Go up on the stairs. Hey, who? Come on, Mecca. Hi, come on, Mecca.
How you doing?
Okay, and you?
I'm doing good.
Glad. Yeah, God does good work, doesn't God? Okay. Come on in, Mecca. That's good. Hi. Finance. Okay. You're going to be a little careful with all these people here? That's good. Judiciary, finance, right next to one another. Hi. Hi. Hello again.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, and you? Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Hi. Yeah. Do you know if your doctor passes a drug test to keep the license? I don't know either. You would think we'd all know if it was the case. I think the NRA might like to work with the AMA and make sure that all the mental health professionals pass drug tests if they're going to have anything to do with us having guns.
I might expect that.
Yeah, it might be good for the industry, you know. You check out some of these mental health operations there. Hi, good, Mecca. Oh, good, very calm people. Hi. Good, Mecca. That's a private door. It says it's private, but you're welcome to try any door that's not labeled otherwise. Hello, young man. Hi there. Hi. Oh, thank you. That's kind of you. Come on, Mecca. Good. Good. Good, Mac. 4 years. This way here. Good morning. Yeah. Here we go. Good.
Hey, Laura. How you doing, sir?
Good morning, who? How are you?
Good, thanks.
Glad to hear it. Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions. Bob Corker, Tennessee. Hi. Tennessee. Tennessee. Ain't no place who'd rather be. Won't you carry me back to Tennessee? Hi. Maybe we missed it. Let's ask here.
Yeah.
Hi. Good morning. Hi. We're looking for the Environmental Protection Agency committee meeting.
Yeah, the EPA committee, subcommittee is across the hall and to the right a little bit. I'm assuming they'll at least know where to point you to for the meeting.
Right on, right on. Thank you. Nice ring. You're welcome. Here, Environmental and Public Works. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I saw on the internet there was a committee meeting this morning for the Environmental Protection Agency. Do you know where that's being held?
There's a business meeting.
There's one about the
Water?
water and the.
Yeah, it's actually next door, but I don't know if they have any room left.
It's actually next door.
Room 406.
406.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if they don't have any room left, I have a letter here that your committee might be interested in. It's a plan to employ veterans by extending the Smithsonian Mall to California and to bring water with it.
Okay.
I was wondering if I might leave it with you for the committee members.
Sir. Okay.
The last page has some tooth marks because my dog saw the paper coming out of the printer and picked it up and handed it to me.
The dog ate the home. I
The dog handed me the paper.
know. All right, sir.
Okay, man.
Have a great day.
Yes, unto you. Thanks. Hi. Hi there. How are you doing?
Ooh, I like that thing. Can you hear music from it?
Have you seen Jack the Giant Slayer movie yet?
No, I haven't.
Well, they put it in the movie.
Is
Yeah.
it okay for that?
It helps you remember the past and eventually help you predict the future. It's basically just an iPod, and it makes audio and video memory. But we should have artificial intelligence hooked up to it, and then those Google Glass things so you can get feedback visually too.
Future, if
Wait,
you're
so it's
watching,
recording the things that
I can't wait.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I call it remember because they tell you can't record and then make up a new word like video and say you can't do it. And so I try to remember the old words like it's a savings account for the photons that are hitting me. And that makes more sense to the judge.
So you're saying the technology is helping you remember?
Yeah, it's adaptive technology. It's eyeglasses for my brain.
That's the coolest.
So just the way anyone has the right to wear eyeglasses to see better, you have the right to wear your iPod on your head to remember better.
What's your name?
I'm Bill or Mohammed, and here's my card.
I would love to.
You're
have
such a
your
good
card.
interviewer. You could have a
you so
career. Who are you, should I ask?
My name's Nina Strauss.
Nina.
It's nice to meet you.
Strauss. Nice to meet you, Nina Strauss.
Anybody else?
Here's one. Oh, you have two. Good. Okay, and here's one more for your other friend
I know a
then,
lot of people probably
just
don't
in case. They fold in half.
They fall in half. All right.
Yeah, Nina.
Good luck on your.
Thanks. We're trying to employ veterans by extending the Smithsonian
So you
Mall
do that?
to California. Good.
See you.
God willing, I hope, Nina. Good. Good. Oh, here's 406 here. Good. Good. Whoops. Okay, it's time to. It's,
Call to the chairman and myself and included in the record. It's a call concerning the aquatic ecosystem restoration and measures and plans.
Thank you. Let me say, before I call on, in this order, Vitor Wicker Barrasso, Treasurer, Inman Fisher. Let me just say, in response, what we did is we based the accelerated project delivery on what we did in transportation. It'll be very similar outcries, but if you really look at it closely, we'll work together, because I want to convince you that he really worked hard on these both sides to make sure. We have said there's no excuse for these delays. But if there's new information, a change condition, if some agency can prove they never had the financial resources, that they can make that case. So I just feel very strongly that we have done the right thing here. And plus, we send the money back to the agency to expedite the review. So the penalties were to move forward the project, but We do not change any environmental laws. We just say, you know, get your act
You go
together,
front then?
step up to the plate. Actually, dogs are.
It's a service animal. It has to stay with me.
From flooding and the rest.
I have a letter.
And I mean, I would put my environmental record, well, probably above or equal to the best in the Senate. I would never agree to anything that took away someone's right to delay a project for a good reason. But what we said was, there's sometimes absolutely no reason whatsoever, and in that case, we have to speak with a penalty, because if you just say do it, they're not going to do it. So I will definitely work with you on this, and I know there's a little chatter, you know, about this, but I feel very comfortable, but let's work together on it.
And Madam Chair, you're absolutely right. I applaud your incredible leadership in this committee and on environmental issues. You're absolutely correct in your statement. And I share your concern about timely decisions being made. This provision expands the permits that are covered under the MAP 21 provisions. And there is a concern that it does.
There's a concern, but it's not true.
Okay,
So
that's
why we're working together.
I thank the chairwoman for.
Yeah, and I think that Tina Poirier, who is my chief of staff and chief counsel, has addressed this, and she will sit with you and explain to you. There is complaints about this provision, but truly, the people who are complaining don't understand how it works. It is no different at all. And it's based on the framework, but it even provides more opportunity to avoid penalties.
I understand what you're saying, but there is a concern that it may apply to other permitting, that is not in the same type of category, and I look forward to working with you.
Without a doubt, and we'll have a good, robust conversation on this. But I feel real good about this provision. Well, Senator Vitter, it is your turn. If you would like to comment, and after you, Senator Whitler.
My only comment is to thank all the members of the committee again for working so actively on such an aggressive timetable, because this bill is not just the chair and me. It was a lot of input from every member, and we're going to have some discussions about provisions on our side that we'll get to, but I really want to thank every member, and I want to specifically mention the chair and the ranking member of the subcommittee, Senators Farkas and Barrasso, and thank Senator Barrasso in particular for work on the deauthorization provision, which is important and productive. But thanks to all of you.
Okay, so we will move to Senator Whitehouse.
Thank you very much, Chairman, and I want to join my colleagues in expressing our appreciation to you and the ranking member for the smooth and thoughtful and diligent way in which all of our concerns were brought to the table and addressed. We are seeing this bill move forward very smoothly right now, but like the proverbial duck moving smoothly over the water, there's a lot of pounding of the feet going on visibly underneath. I want to thank both of you and the committee staffs, minority and majority, for getting us to this point. I would flag particularly the mechanisms we've put in place to prioritize and clear the $62 billion backlog at the Army Corps, which has lasted too long and defends itself against transparency in unfortunate ways. It's a big improvement. We focus on the natural defenses against storms in a new way, the stream buffers, natural dune systems, barrier islands, and so forth, which are so essential to protecting our states from storm energy. We reauthorized the National Dam Safety Program, which is vitally important to my small state, which has 700 dams, some going back to the colonial era, and many in poor, and in some cases even dangerous condition. We put in, I think, a very valuable process piece requiring prioritization of projects under the Army Corps' Continuing Authorities Program. Again, that helps people who are outside looking in get some idea of what's going on. I won't go into gory detail, but I will put into the record in more detail the story of a Rhode Island company named And they're run by an absolutely wonderful woman who had put all the equipment up in the hours that the flood came in, so that as the flood receded, she was able to drop it back down on the floor, plug it back in, and get right back to work. For a manufacturing company. It exports to China. It really is, in many respects, a success story, but they're at risk now of this flooding. And because of the lack of transparency in the Army Corps budget, although there are programs in there to try to get the various studies and work done so that they can know whether they're protected from a future flood, they have no idea what they are in their priorities. And as a business, they can't make sensible decisions without knowing where they are in this vast cloud of unprioritized, undone Army Corps work. So clearing up and putting some logic and some transparency into the process of the Army Corps, I think, has been a very significant achievement and a bipartisan achievement of this. The last thing I'd note is that notwithstanding the era of good feeling that we have here, I do want to provide notice that there is a remaining unkept promise that shadows this committee, and I intend to reserve all my rights to do what I can to make sure that that promise gets kept before too much time slides away. I know the chairman and ranking member are aware of what I'm talking about, and I look forward to working with them to find a way to get this bill passed quickly, but also to get the unkept promise kept. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll go to Senator Wicker, followed by Senator Merkley.
And Senator Whitehouse, I too have been on this journey, and I wish you well.
Thank you, Senator Ricker. I appreciate that very much, and I know.
And I
was very sincere.
I'm not on it.
Well, it's the word that apparently cannot be spoken. But things will be restored, I assure you.
Things will be restored.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Mr. Ranking Member, for your leadership in developing this important piece of legislation. I appreciate your hard work and cooperation, and particularly the hard work and cooperation of your staff in accommodating many of my requests and the requests of members of this committee to make this bill better for Mississippians and all Americans. This is a major jobs bill, and I congratulate the committee. Water resources projects are vital to our nation's trade, commerce, and economic well-being. Core projects keep our country safeguarded and safeguard our country's communities and the livelihoods of millions of Americans. The success of core work is evident. For example, in 2011, during the great Mississippi River flood, regional flood control projects like the Mississippi River and Tributaries Project attest to the success of these government programs. There is great potential for economic growth and job creation if we can properly maintain our coastal and inland ports. Now, with regard to ports, growth in global trade and the expansion of the Panama Canal will create new and promising opportunities to boost our nation's maritime commerce. Our mission should be to make our nation's ports more competitive in the global market. Investments in port infrastructure, including deepening channels to accommodate larger ships, should be addressed to capitalize on international trade. This bill puts us on the right path by using the full amounts collected in the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund for their intended purpose. This legislation also addresses the critical problem in many of our nation's harbors, a prolonged lack of maintenance dredging. Without proper maintenance, the port is less competitive in securing future maintenance dredging. It becomes a cycle. For Mississippi State Port and Gulf Port, this has become a persistent cycle that I hope can finally be addressed by this legislation. Thank you, Madam Chair, and Senator Bitter, for your help in this regard. Now, with regard to environmental reviews, I'm encouraged that broader issues such as the delays associated with environmental reviews are
Hi, how are you? I'm okay, thanks. What's up?
Yeah, you have any papers for your dog?
Yeah, I do.
Sir?
Yeah.
There's a 4-foot leash law in DC.
Okay, well, I have it choked up. The dog's right next to me. I had a 6-foot leash, but it got lost.
Are you recording us right now?
I don't know. I hope so.
Okay,
Here. This is the U.S. Constitution that goes over it. Hi. Senator Whitehouse sure knows his stuff.
Does it never say what kind of dog is assigned to be the medical dog? Is it never said on paper? I don't know. Does it ever specify?
That's all I have.
It's never gonna say what type of dog. Did you look at it? What did he hand it to me for?
No, I looked at it. You want to double check on?
No, I know he had his. No, I know he had his papers before, so I figured that's what it was.
All right,
Could be
well,
any
the reason
dog.
why we're here is
Yeah.
because, you know, people had questioned whether your dog was a service dog.
Okay, yeah.
So, that being said, you have to provide some type of paperwork
Makes sense.
saying
That's
that it is.
why I carry it, yeah. Fair play.
And you know, in other words, we don't want to take you out of your comfort and your need for your dog.
Yeah.
And on the same token, we don't want to make the folks uncomfortable either. You understand?
Well, what do they call it? Inconvenient truth. I mean, there
so
is a
there's-
certain amount
yeah,
of give and
it's easy
take.
for you, but
Yeah.
you know, as long as you know if the dog is obedient, and,
Yeah.
you know.
No, the dog only barked when General Lee surrendered in the movie Lincoln. It was quiet the whole movie, and then we went twice, and the dog barked in the same place both times. This morning, the first page out of my printer, the dog went over and picked it up with its mouth and handed it to me.
Well, 1 second. You want to go back in?
Yeah, please, at least for a while. That's you, Mecca. You passed your test again. Good, Mecca. I was so obese, man. My doctor kept saying, "You're obese, you're obese." I said, "Prescribe me the dog, I'll lose the weight." Hi. Hi there, how you doing? What's happening? Good morning. Hey, let's employ veterans by extending the Smithsonian Mall to California. That's kind of why we're here, to get these guys interested in extending the Smithsonian Mall to California with irrigation pipes so we can get desalinated water into our more and more arid interior.
How old is this dog?
Young.
Huh?
Young.
Young?
Yeah. We tried it.
Okay. Bill, they just want to make sure that when you go in there, so somebody doesn't trip or
Yeah.
trip on the dog.
You noticed I had the dog right
Yeah,
by me when
hi,
you
baby.
came in, right?
Hi, baby.
Okay.
So that's you know,
Okay.
no concern.
We have to go to the other committee meeting for Judiciary later today. They're meeting at the same time about privacy and the drones. So we'll have to leave here in 15 or 20 minutes, but I'd like to hear a little bit more about what
Okay,
they're
yeah, that's fine. Just make sure, you know, so that.
close to me,
Yeah, and as long as, yeah.
not
don't
block
want
the right of
anybody
way.
tripping, you know,
Right, right.
Somebody land on the puppy and hurt the puppy.
Yeah, he mentioned Timothy Leary already this morning. And then my girlfriend's old sense of humor, Gory. Senator Whitehouse, he's pretty informed. Yeah, right. Thanks. Hey, come on, Mecca. That's good. Thanks.
This is something really important in many communities of work and where it will help enable the Army Corps to provide
Thanks.
certification. It's very daunting. You can't get the running certified,
sorry.
you can't get the insurance, you can't get the insurance.
You gotta be right here.
And so the buildings.
Insurance.
Home, and again, it's a key piece of the process. So I thank you for this very good work, and thank you for the ranking member. The partnership very clearly evidenced in the production of the bill today.
Thank you so much, Senator Wood. We both thank you. And pleasure to call on Senator Barrasso, he and Senator Baucus, they and their staffs have been involved in this bill every inch of the way. And we want to thank both of you. We'll hear from you, and then we'll hear from Senator Baucus.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairman, and to my staff member, Brian Clifford, who has really been a real strong advocate on our issues of water resource development, of the Water Resource Development Act. I'm very grateful for his cooperation with members of your state who've been wonderful on this, and this has worked very well in terms of the ranking members, of the full committee, the subcommittee. So I want to thank everyone involved. And we need to address these issues, and thanks for the help on addressing the issues relating to the Army Corps. We have problems with aging infrastructure, with lack of transparency, with fiscal accountability, and it's been a pleasure to work with others to create a bipartisan process. We may have differences on key issues, but the bulk of what we've accomplished so far is really nonpartisan. It's about our states, it's about our constituents. In Wyoming, we have issues of flood mitigation. They're very important to folks at home, predicting floods and being better prepared for them is a major component in keeping Wyoming communities safe. That's why I proposed and happy to have included in the bill language with the help of the chair and the ranking member for an authorization of the Upper Missouri Basin Flood and Drought Monitoring. This program is going to restore the stream gauges and the snowpack monitors to the Upper Missouri Basin at all elevations. These gauges are used to monitor snow depth and soil moisture to help inform agencies like the Corps as to potential flooding and also drought in the future. This is very important in protecting communities and in saving lives. As I mentioned, transparency and fiscal responsibility are also important components to tackling the issues that need to be addressed with the Army Corps. That's why I've authored language to create an Army Corps project deauthorization process that mimics the old BRAC process, the Base Realignment and Closure Commission that the Department of Defense uses to close and reconsolidate Army bases. Under this amendment, an independent commission appointed by the President would identify projects for deauthorization based on specific established criteria and then submit those projects as one package for an up or down vote in Congress. It really is time, Madam Chairman, for the Corps and Congress to clean the books, cut the waste, and bring fiscal responsibility to the water process. So I just want to thank you again, Madam Chairman, and Ranking Member Bitter, who accepted this amendment as part of the manager's package, and I look forward to working with all of my colleagues to continuing this important piece of legislation in a bipartisan way. I would like also to say to the senator from Montana to thank him. I know that there's an issue of technical assistance for environmental work to help rural water systems comply with federal regulations. It's important to both of our states, and I hope that we can continue to work together before the bill goes to the floor to work on providing technical assistance to help rural water systems. So thank you, Madam Chairman.
Thank you so much. Senator Baucus, again, thank you so much for your work and the work of your staff. Senator Vitter wanted to respond quickly. Is that all right? Thanks.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to respond quickly to Senator Barrasso to thank him for all of his leadership on this as ranking member of the subcommittee, in particular on this deauthorization provision. He's exactly right. It's really important to examine projects that have been on the Corps' books for decades that are either no longer in the federal interest or no longer feasible to construct. And this is a critical step in terms of cleaning up the Corps' ever-increasing backlog and keeping this a relatively zero-sum game. This is an authorization bill. It's not a spending bill. And still, even considering its authorization, with this deauthorization process, we will have a net zero status moving forward and get the right priority projects done. So thank you for that work, Senator Ross.
Senator Baucus.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm proud to be part of this effort. This is, I think, the 9th word bill I've been part of since 1986. And it's been ups and downs, of course, but I really appreciate the way you worked with Senator cross-party lines that they've just done. And you've also been very energetic in finding new positions in here that do make a difference. Not just a total conversation. I really appreciate it. I broadly, I appreciate levy safety reforms, create new water financing. I think that might reduce some pressures on the state revolving funds in some parts of our country, and I hope that these provisions can address rural development challenges as well. Particularly pleased to see a couple of Montana provisions. One I want to highlight is prevent the invasion of mussels into the flooded riverways. It's really interesting. It's really quite alarming. It's an example of invasive species, problems that invasive species cause in America. Flathead Lake is, as you know, it's closer to California than it is to the Great Lakes. Flathead Lake is on the, it's a huge water, huge lake. It's the largest, let me get my patches to find that picture. It's the largest natural freshwater lake east of west of Mississippi. Largest natural freshwater lake west of the Mississippi River. It's wonderful. It's huge. And the trouble is invaded with these mussel zebras. They have come over from the Great Lakes. So in many ways, the aquatic system of Flathead Lake, pristine water, the water comes down from Canada. It's next, very close to Glacier Park. In many ways, it's now become similar to the Great Lakes. The aquatic system of Flathead Lake is somewhat similar to the Great Lakes. It's basically because of the basic species which have come on over from the Great Lakes over to Flathead Lake. We're trying to fight this as much as we possibly can. It's dramatically changed the nature of Flathead Lake. I remember years ago, I used to see salmon get caught by the bald eagles. One of the Judiciary is one of the rivers that feeds into Flathead Lake. But those salmon are no longer there just because the lake has changed. As long as conservatives or provisions in here which help us reduce invasive species coming into our state anyway, because of folks who expected now smart use of funds, folks launched it by the way to expecting to see whether they've got invasive species on there. It's hundreds of millions of dollars along. I'm also thrilled. We very much appreciate establishing floodplain easements and mapping how river channels migrate will also reduce future flooding costs and improve a lot of improve stream flows. I mean, allowing river channels to be mapped is going to help in the long run reduce some of the costs of levees because we're forcing rivers in certain locations. But if we were able to map how rivers migrate, we're better able down the road to get to levees located at that location. I also want to point out that this is important. Against the ounce of prevention for the found cure. The largest, I think it's the largest Superfund site in the country. It's in Montana. It's on the Clarkford River, Montana. And that costs about $9 million per litter mile. On the other hand, protective measures like channel mitigation zone mapping cost only about $600 per litter mile. And that's going to make a difference here. And I thank you, Madam Chairman, for including the clarification on Corps' levy certification responsibilities to the point that Senator Murphy raised a bit earlier. I heard complaints about Corps certification of levies over and over again the past couple of years. County commissioners, city managers, you name it. Remember bringing out the Corps to these sites, bringing FEMA to the same sites, and every point the finger pointing the other guy. And the long and short was the Corps had to pay for certification of these levies so that flood insurance could be sold, so that people could live in the floodplains, and other counties couldn't pay for it. They didn't have the money. And we here make that very clear that that's a Corps responsibility. No problem. And that's, I'm glad that it is. So thank you, Madam Chairman, very much. Going on here, I'm pleased to see several modifications to some other previously authorized projects. One in particular is pretty critical to me, and
that's to coordinate with the state of Montana and others on the lower Yellowstone project, the intake dam. What's that? There's a levee, the Yellowstone River in Montana, is basically designed to get irrigation water over sugar beet growers. That's obviously vital. But the issue is this: the Yellowstone River, which begins at Yellowstone Park, through Yellowstone Park and flows north up to gorgeous valley called Paradise Valley. And it's up, well, the east stars up fancy mountains there. North up to Livingston, then it turns east, goes toward Billings, up north, toward North Dakota. It's the longest undammed river in the United States. There's no dams on it. It's the river that Custer and Reno and other generals came up before they got demolished at the Battle of Little Bighorn. They came up with their paddle boats and they came up the Yellowstone River and all the way up to the Bighorn River. And they both paddle up. It's steamy. Paddle, real boats. We know to get up the Bighorn River. It's amazing. Anyway, of course, there were no dams in 1876. There are no dams today either. Slight exception is this levee intake. We're hoping to figure out a way so that the levee there can be modified so that fish can pass back and forth very easily. But yet, there's enough of a levee there to provide water.
Oh, absolutely. Now I feel like I need to go see that. The name is so exciting.